Hi, folks. Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Conversations. Today, I'm excited to have two guests that work with the LynxConnect Center on campus. My name is Tierza. I'm the Director of Student Life and Campus Community. We're excited to have you here today. We want to continue letting you know about processes, functions, and offices on campus that are here to serve you and to help you be successful as a student. So I'm going to let my two guests introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Tony Smith. I'm the Director of LynxConnect, Student Immersive Learning and Industry Partnerships.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Trzeciak. I'm the Senior Director for Student Career Development.
Awesome. Well, you know, we have to do this every episode. This is Coffee and Conversations. You got your coffee cup?
Got it ready.
I got mine. I've been drinking all day. Got to have that caffeine. That's right. So let's start with talking a little bit about the LynxConnect Center. I know it was new this year. What services do you offer students?
Yeah, so LynxConnect was a 2.5-year project bringing that together. It brought 4 separate units together. So the Career Center, the Experiential Learning Center, Study Abroad, and Undergraduate Research, all in one location. It's about 15,000 square feet, professional staff, student staff. It's an amazing space. I think you've seen it, Tierza. Can't wait to get back to it. Miss it very much.
Excellent. Can you give us a little smidge about how those 4 offices are working together, what process you went through to come together to create that new center?
Definitely. Sarah and I worked with the directors of the other 2 units to literally reprogram everything we do in terms of our services and resources so that you walk in the door, you get a single line of resources, and that is provided to you first and foremost by our peer advising team. We created them from the ground up, and we have a team of about 8 peer advisors that are there now Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, to handle any question about any of the 4 offices.
Awesome. So where are you located? I know that's the number one question that my office gets because you have a 3rd floor room number in the Tivoli and we're in 303. And we often have students come in our office going, I'm looking for LynxConnect. So since you're new, tell us where you're at in the building.
Yeah, the physical location of the building is called the Tivoli Annex. And if you're familiar with iPie Pizza, that courtyard that's right outside that leads out to the parking garage, the Tivoli parking garage, we're right across that courtyard from iPie Pizza. You can see our entrance right there. And once you come inside, you're on the 3rd floor, but we're actually suite 439. So you're going to go up some stairs to the right. You can't miss it. Some beautiful bleacher seating, and it's all open concept. You see everything right in front of you.
I do love that bleacher seating. So for students who come to workshops in that space, regardless of which of the 4 offices are presenting, when you walk in that lobby area, there are these really awesome seats and the presentations happen right there in the front lobby. So I like that a lot. So how should students access support of those 4 units while we're working remotely and learning remotely?
Yeah, well, Sarah, and I'm sure can talk a little bit about some of this too in just a minute, but we worked together to really quickly stand up some virtual resources we call our virtual toolkit. And right now you can find that on the Career Center page, and it's a super easy search, CU Denver Career Center, and that'll pop right up. You'll see the virtual toolkit tab. You click right there and you can get, we have office hours with our virtual front desk posted there that you can go right into a Zoom room during those days and hours. Or you can click and get a drop-in appointment with a peer advisor or a one-on-one appointment with any of the staff in the space.
So would you add anything to that? I think I remember you and I had talked previously that you guys are using Handshake for some of those appointments too.
Yes, students can schedule an appointment in Handshake with an advisor, either an internship advisor, a career advisor, and we're actually even doing same-day appointments, which is something we don't normally do, but you can get an appointment scheduled as far out as 30 minutes in advance.
Okay, awesome. Well, Sarah, why don't you keep going? Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Career Center, and then I've got a couple questions for you.
Yeah, the Career Center helps students with their career exploration and then job searching as well. So we help students identify what their strengths are, what their interests are, what their values are, and how they can leverage those into a career that they find meaningful. And once they identify those career options, we help them think through how they're going to get there, both through internships or study abroad or undergraduate research. And once you do that, we're going to help you describe that experience on your resume, talk about it to an employer in an interview. We do practice interviews, we do resume reviews, and we'll help you navigate this whole crazy world right now too of job searching during a pandemic, virtual job searching. We help with all of that.
You know, I was excited recently to receive an email that your center is now using the software system, the Big Interview.
Yes.
And I've had that on a previous campus, and that really was a game changer for students who are interviewing for jobs on campus. Can you tell us a little bit about the Big Interview?
Yeah, Big Interview is a brand new platform for us. It's really cool. We've really enjoyed it so far. It is practice interviewing all done online, and you can choose different questions. You can choose the level of difficulty of an interview, and you can practice as much as you want. It is a part of our virtual toolkit that Tony mentioned. So just go to that toolkit and you can click on it for access. And the really cool part about it is it will record those videos and you can send them to a career counselor or an internship advisor, and they can provide you feedback. And our peer advisors are using it as well, and they're going to be putting out a couple workshops on Big Interview here soon.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear about that. So I know one of the things the Career Center focuses on are the NACE career readiness competencies. And I know we talk about those a lot in our office, and I want to make sure that students are starting to hear that phrase. But I want to start with, who is NACE? Can you tell us about them?
Yeah, NACE is a professional organization that we all belong to in LynxConnect. It's called the National Association of Colleges and Employers. And so it's a place for college career services, internship advising, employer relations and recruiting to meet with employers who are actively recruiting students for full-time professional positions. And so it's a great resource for us because we have access to other universities, and we get to understand what they're doing, how they're navigating things, but we also get to connect with employers and talk through their recruitment cycles, what they would recommend for students. It's an overall really great organization to belong to. And what I love about them is they do a lot of research in the field, and they ask all of us for feedback on surveys on where students are finding jobs, and they use that and then disseminate the information to us so that we can stay informed on what's going on nationally.
So I know some of the research they did was to come up with competencies that students need to have mastered or learned within different competency areas so that they get hired, right? So can you tell us what the career readiness competencies are?
Yeah, so NACE, again, surveyed employers and university folks, asking them, what skills do students need in order to be successful in a professional environment? And they've done massive surveys, then they found themes, and they kind of hammered it down into 8 career readiness competencies. And these competencies are skills that you can develop in order to show an employer that you're ready to work. And so there's 8 of them. They are critical thinking and problem solving, oral and written communication, teamwork and collaboration, digital technology, leadership, professionalism and work ethic, career management, and global and intercultural fluency.
Thank you. So folks watching this video, I want to let you know I will put a link in the YouTube description area. So if you'll look below the video when you're done watching, that link will take you to a website on the NACE site, which will give you a further description of those 8 areas. And I will share with you that all of the leadership workshops that CU Denver and our office, Student Life and Campus Community sponsor, we tag everything with those 8 competencies. So if you're interested, you can track what competencies you've had exposure to with those different workshops.
And
So
any member of LynxConnect can work with a student on career readiness competencies, how they develop those. What I love about LynxConnect is we're really a place where you can develop those skills.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm sure those career counselors are helping students identify like where they might have gaps, and then suggesting programs and events on campus they can go to build some of that awareness.
Yes, and we also have a resource that is called Focus 2 that's on the Career Center website that has a career readiness module where students can go in and assess their skills and see where the gaps are, and it then provides suggestions on ways to develop those skills.
Okay, I will put a link for Focus 2 in the show notes as well.
Excellent.
Okay, so Sarah, talk to me a little bit about first-year students in career services. I think sometimes students that are brand new in the college environment don't think that they need to do anything to begin planning their career at that point. They may think, hey, I need to start working on that my junior or senior year. So should first-year students begin planning their careers?
So yes, I don't think it's ever too early to start thinking about your career paths. And I use paths plural because there will be more than one throughout your career. And it's important to take the time to research fields that interest you, complete an internship or undergraduate research, and to apply what you're learning in the classroom, but do some self-research on what are your skills, what are your interests, what are your values, and how does that translate to a career that will be meaningful for you. And it's easier to do that now when you're at a university than trying to figure that out as a full-time professional where you're changing careers multiple times. You're more likely to find a satisfactory career, something that's meaningful, when you take the time to do it early.
Yep, so true. So I love asking people this question because I want to normalize it for our students. Did you ever change your major? Because I definitely did.
Yes, I changed my major.
Did you, Tony?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I even know within my career area of working in student affairs in higher education, originally my undergraduate degree is in advertising and marketing, and I never worked a day in that industry, but I had to call my mom one day once I had my master's degree and was working at a college to say, hey, I actually used the skills I learned in that undergraduate degree, even though I changed my career path. And even within student affairs, I've worked in 2 distinct areas. And so you're right, you can change your mind and still apply your skills. Do either of you have something to share about career stuff and how it's impacted you changing?
I will just say I definitely didn't go to college with the career goal of being a career center director. So yeah, you never know where you end up or what
Did you even
passions you
know that
discover.
existed?
I had no idea it existed, and I ironically was one of the students who never used the career center as an undergraduate, and here I am leading one.
Very interesting. What about you, Tony?
Yeah, I was a music business major to start out, and then accounting hit and did not go with my brain. So classically trained opera singer, and then went into higher education. And even in higher education, I started in student activities. I did student conduct. Then I went into res life, which turned to student conduct. And then experiential learning happened, and I fell right into career development and experiential learning and absolutely love it. So, and then lots of other things along the way.
Yeah, so I think here we are just 3 people, and we have all had that experience of it's good to be nimble and flexible and learn lots of skills so that you can be adaptable in the workforce. So Tony, I want to ask you a couple questions kind of to wrap up the end of our interview about internships, because I know a lot of students here, you should get an internship. Many of them have already had them in high school. So for students wanting an internship, when do you think you should actually start looking for one once you're in college?
You can start looking as soon as possible, but you can't actually solidify an internship until you have, it's 12 undergraduate CU Denver credits under your belt, or some programs have 15 as a requirement. And so once you've done that, then you can actually solidify for an academic or even a not-for-credit internship. But don't just do one, do multiple with the same company, different companies, different types of companies. And as Sarah said earlier, LynxConnect's purpose is to connect you with multiple paths to develop skill sets and those career competencies so that employers, graduate schools, they are seeing that you were purposeful in developing that path, and that LynxConnect is here to help you do that. Counselors, advisors, coaches, they're all in one place for you.
So kind of my last question then is, knowing that we're all doing remote work and remote learning right now, what can you do internship wise or in the realm of learning skills that can be showcased as internship like while we're at home?
Well, the key component for an internship is mentorship, especially in the virtual sense. Hands-on learning can happen at home, but you need the projects that are led by an expert who's done it for years. So a marketer, an advertiser, an accountant, a lawyer, any of those folks are going to be able to help you understand the mistakes that you may make And that's one of those key components to learning, is to fail and learn, repeat. That's going to get you where you need to go. And it's going to take a minimum of 6 to 8 weeks to solidify a skill set. So it's not going to happen overnight, and that's okay. Do multiple things to build those skills and career competencies, because once you get to the end of your career at CU Denver and you're ready to move to the next thing, hopefully you've already solidified a job or an externship or whatever's next for you, because you built those relationships over time.
Right.
And I think
Yeah.
to add is think in terms of the career readiness competencies. What are you doing right now to develop those skills? Are you becoming an expert in Zoom? I know I am. That's a digital technology competency. Am I proofreading my emails more carefully to make sure that everybody understands what I'm saying, because I can't communicate face to face? That's written communication. Those skills can really help you gain some experience without maybe a formal experience solidified over the summer. But one interview question I heard from an employer is, what have you been doing during the pandemic? And if you can say things like, oh, I've been taking LinkedIn learning classes, or I decided to learn how to code, that sounds a lot more meaningful than a student who says, I just watched Netflix. So think in terms of those competencies, and think of like LinkedIn Learning and LynxConnect as a resource for you over the summer to solidify some of those for you.
And you're not going to learn every possible thing for your career in the classroom. You're just not. There are companies out there that are asking for certain software packages that you're only going to get to touch that if you work for them in an internship. And it's important to be able to connect with that and show that you have the experience with that specific thing, because it's just not going to happen as part of your curriculum. So, yeah.
You know, that makes me think of one extra question that was not on my original list. Are we going to have virtual or digital career fairs in the fall? Because I know some students may be ready to start that job search process, or at least dip their toe into it. Do you guys have a plan at this point for that?
Yeah, so Sarah, myself, our employer and industry partnerships coordinator, we've all been working with Handshake and staying informed with them, because they are looking to roll out a virtual career fair platform within Handshake, which would be really, really helpful for us. And so we're learning about that just about on a weekly basis now, because they're hoping to do that in July. And we do all of our employer outreach for fall in July. So we'll know some of those answers then. But then we're also looking at additional ways to connect with employer and industry partners virtually through Zoom panels, having them come in and do virtual office hours. So there's lots of opportunity to still connect with those folks in a virtual sense.
Okay, that is great to hear. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. We appreciate it. For you folks watching this video, remember in the show notes or down below the actual video, I'll link several things for the Career Center. And we want to encourage you to use their office. So thanks again for joining me, Tony and Sarah. I really appreciate it. Bye.
Thanks for having us, Tierza.
Bye.